It's my pleasure to introduce Eileen O'Connor, representing the Cayuga County Health Department, which in turn is the voice of the New York State Health Department. And I'm calling an audible change here in your agenda. You'll see at this point in the listing that Ken Kudla was going to be speaking, but Eileen has agreed to fill in that slot and get us out of a difficult position as a lake association. We recognize there were over 330 people drawing, probably higher number than that, drawing water directly out of the lake that seek some sort of understanding and guidance in terms of responding to direct use of the lake water, which has been a large part of our cultural tradition. And though our members have all struggled with that, those that are shoreline members, and individuals have made decisions, and that was to be the nature of our presentation, we realized it would seem too much like guided public policy that we can't offer as a lake association. So Eileen is agreed to speak on an official level and give us a perspective that's pretty clear in terms of individual response to drawing water directly out of the lake. Eileen, thank you so much again.
Hi, can everybody hear me okay? I'm Eileen O'Connor, the Director of Environmental Health for the Cayuga County Health Department. And how many people here draw water directly out of the Wasco Lake for drinking? No one. So, there are about 200, it's not quite 300, but I think it's closer to 200 people that we think draw water right out of the lake. Many of them don't drink it, but they use it for flushing toilets. And bloom or no bloom, never drink, prepare food, cook, or make ice with untreated surface water, ever. So I know that there are some people that do drink the water, but our position is you shouldn't be drinking the water. And the reason why is surface water is vulnerable to contamination. Typically, it contains bacteria, viruses, and parasites such as Cryptosporidium and Giardia. And in order to make it safe to drink, it needs adequate treatment, which includes both filtration and disinfection. So this is a schematic of a typical water treatment plant, kind of similar to what Auburn does. And so there's a lot of work that the city of Auburn and the town of Owasco do to provide safe water, to take it from its raw water stage, remove the bacteria, the viruses, and any crypto or giardia, and provide safe drinking water to the public. If someone came to me and wanted a restaurant on Owasco Lake and wanted to draw water from the lake to serve their restaurant, it would be a public water supply that we would have to regulate. And so we would require that they would have filtration, and the final element would be 1 micron absolute filter, and ultraviolet disinfection, and then chlorine disinfection. So they would need all of that in order to make the water safe. And in a typical home situation, it's just really too complicated for, in most cases, for a property owner to adequately treat surface water. And then if you add cyanotoxins to the mix, what do? Suppose that you do have all that adequate treatment, and now cyanotoxins are in your raw water. Unfortunately, there are no residential treatment units that have been certified for adequate removal of cyanotoxins. I get this call a lot. What can I put on my faucet or whatever? There's nothing that's been certified. There's a couple of agencies, the National Sanitation Foundation and others like them, that do certify treatment, various treatment devices. But right now, there is none that's certified for that it's adequately removing them. There may be in the future as cyanotoxins become, out there more, as the previous speakers have talked about. Maybe some commercial entity will jump on the bandwagon and create something and then send it to one of these certification outfits. So there are some things on the market. such as reverse osmosis. You could probably go to a plumbing store, probably even maybe Lowe's, I don't know, and buy a reverse osmosis for your kitchen sink. And basically, these devices use a membrane with tiny pores. The problem is they become clogged easily. They can be expensive to purchase and to maintain because you might have to replace the membrane quite frequently. And they can waste as much as 3 gallons of water for every gallon that's treated. So then you have, a waste product that you have to worry about. The other thing that you can probably buy in Lowe's is an activated carbon filter. And Seth kind of talked a little bit about this. There's carbon material in these devices, such as coal, charcoal, and wood. And they will absorb some of the cyanotoxins. They can enhance bacterial growth, so disinfection would be recommended if somebody wanted to install one of these devices, and you probably would need to replace it frequently. And again, even though these devices may be available for purchase, neither of these devices have been certified or have been shown to be effective for use in the home. So what can people do if they drink lake water? Well, I would say you should drill a well if you can. Or if you can't afford to drill a well, you should use bottled water for drinking, preparing food, cooking, and making ice. And you should remember, too, that boiling does not remove cyanotoxins. Sometimes we as a health department have to issue a boil water order. And so I think a lot of people think, if you boil water, it removes everything. Boiling water does remove, harmful bacteria, but it does not remove cyanotoxins, so that's not an option. So that's basically all I have to say about this, that unfortunately there really is not a good option. But since I'm here anyway, and now a message from the Cuyahoga County Health Department, we are really going to have an effort this spring and summer to urge the public to be prepared for the presence of cyanotoxin in their drinking water. So two items that I just want to mention briefly, and there'll be more to come, so please read the newspaper and watch the news. But we urge everyone to register your cell phone with the emergency 911, and there is the link to the emergency 911 website. It takes about 15 seconds to register your cell phone, so that in an emergency, whether we want to tell people you shouldn't drink the water because the toxins in the drinking water are high, it also might be some other emergency that government feels that they want to get in touch with you. Right now, the emergency 911 office does have the ability to you use reverse 911 and call people, but that only works if you have a landline, because they don't know what your cell phone number is. But if you go online on this site, really it only takes 15 seconds to register your cell phone, and then they can call you back if there's ever a need. And then the other thing that we're urging people to do, and again, cyanotoxins are a concern that we're talking about now, but with the weather seeming to get crazier, storms can happen. We urge everyone to keep a 3 to 7 day supply of potable water on hand in the event that something were to happen. So if later this summer we do have cyanotoxins in the drinking water, which I'm hoping that we won't, especially since the city is going to be, installing some treatment. But, we're urging people to be prepared in the event that they might need the drinking water. And that's all I have, Bob.
Thank you, Eileen.